Hey you guys, it's Moody here, and I have another NU battle for you guys today, and this one's a bit more serious. As you can tell, I kind of have a team going here. I actually decided to pick my own Pokemon this time, so it resulted in a better result than last time. I have a Toxic Spiker. What I came to realize is that Toxic Spikes become really useful when used in NU, so since Scolipede was moved up to, I think it was RU, there hasn't really been like a decent toxic spike user. I think the other one is like you can use Whirlpede now, but it's obviously not as good. So I decided to use Tentacool because they actually have that in Little Cup. So I figured, why not give it a go? So I have a Tentacool with Toxic Spikes. I've got a Bastodon, which has Stealth Rocks, and I've got just standard Executor with Sunny Day, standard Magmortar, Jinx, and Samurott. So they're all pretty standard Pokemon. I see that he has Golbat he could possibly lead off with, or a Mesprit. So I figured I'll just lead off with my Tentacool and see what he leads off with. So he leads off with Golbat, and I lead off with my Tentacool. I know that Golbat is gonna wanna taunt me, so I figure I'm just gonna switch back out into Bastodon, so I could just Rock Blast it, because that's clearly going to be effective. Whoa. So I'm taunted, and he's going to Super Fang, but unfortunately he misses. I Rock Blast him twice, and it does not do a lot at all, so I figured he was going to want to try and go for the Super Fang again this time, because if he U-turned, it would have been, it wouldn't have been very effective. So I switched in Jinx, thinking, okay, Super Fang is coming, I could easily outspeed it, but he went for U-turn that time, so that was just an unfortunate play on my part. But, what can you do? I end up losing a lot of health. I don't completely go down, but it's probably going to end up being my fodder later in the match, just because that was really unfortunate to happen in the beginning. So he sends a Mesprit, and he goes for knockoff, so obviously it's a support Mesprit, and it has 2 screens. I'm assuming it's gonna have 2 screens, so I use this chance to set up my Stealth Rocks, so I can have my rocks up, which is always good to have, along with spikes when it comes to NU, or really any tier for that matter. And I send in my Tentacool again, just figuring, take this opportunity to set up the spikes. Since he's setting up his screens, I'm just gonna set up my spikes, because I feel like since spikes are basically, since he doesn't have a poison type to get rid of the spikes, or a spinner that I was really paying attention to. I don't think he has a spinner, I'm not sure. I'm free to set up my Toxic Spikes and not have to worry about them disappearing anytime soon. So they're definitely gonna be really useful later on in the match, or just like in general overall. So as long as I get those 2 layers up, it's great. And I'm just gonna continue setting up stuff. So I believe I switch here though. He sends in Licky, and I know these are specially defensive, so I wasn't sure what he was gonna do, because they could Wish, they could Protect, they could Body Slam. So luckily he went for the Body Slam in my case, I feel like, because now I'll just get a free switch in. The thing that I overlooked at this point in time was that both his screens were still up, so I figured since he's specially defensive, I should probably attack from the physical side. So I brought in my Samurott, Swords Dance up, and then I was thinking, okay, easily Waterfall is going to KO it, just because it doesn't have a physical defense. It's not meant to be a physical wall. So in this scenario, I figured, okay, Swords Dance up, that's also going to help me out later, because I'm going to have Aqua Jet, and I can kill off other things, even if they're faster than me if I have to. So I did go for the Waterfall, and I'm figuring, okay, it has to die, but no, it doesn't. At this point, I'm like, wow, it must be really bulky, just because I forgot that the screens were still up. So here we're just basically, he's stalling for time, which doesn't seem very, I don't know, effective really. I'm not sure. because he's basically wasting his screen turns, I suppose. So I'm just like, I'm alright with the scenario right here. I'm, you know, surprised that instead of possibly going for the body slam, though, and, you know, getting that possible paralysis, he decided to wish when he knows that next turn he's either going to faint or he's going to have to switch in another Pokemon into a waterfall while his reflect is off. But that just struck me as slightly odd here, so I don't know. I just thought body slam probably would have been the better option to go with, just to get that possible chance of paralysis. So he sends on Sock, and I'm pretty sure Sock is usually scarfed. I've seen mostly scarfed ones, so I'm assuming this one is, so I decided instead to go for a waterfall because I'm pretty sure he's going to outspeed me. I'm just going to go for the Aqua Jet and try and get as much damage on it as I can. Unfortunately, it's not enough to kill, and he's going to be able to take me out with a close combat. And after poison damage, it's going to leave him at very low health. The problem is that I don't have any other, I don't have any scarfed users, and I also, well, I realized for once I did not actually bring a scarfed Pokemon, so whoops. Sadly, that sucked for random picking, so I figured I'm going to throw in Tentacle because I'm pretty sure he's choice. Maybe I'll live, but the chance of that happening is, I mean, I think without the crit I might have because I resist it, but the thing is I don't have my Eviolite either, but the point of this was to just kill him off with the poison damage, and unfortunately it had to happen by sacking Tentacool here. And he goes into Golbat, so I go into my Executor, and I don't think I had any other Pokemon. I should have gone into Magmortar here, just because it would have outspeeded it. I think Golbat was one of his fastest Pokemon after Sock, because Sock I think was his only Scarfer, so that probably would have been the better play here as opposed to just leaving Executor, because the other Pokemon I had, Magmortar, was, I didn't want to switch that into a U-turn or whatever he was going to go for, so I figured I'm just going to let Executor die at this point, just because I have Pokemon that are too frail, and I just really don't want to deal with that. The problem now is that he's got a Shift Tree out, and I know they can carry, I think one of the moves is Sucker Punch, and then there's this silly Giga Drain thing going on, but luckily it does not take a lot of health, so I kind of just roar it out here and just like, just want to, you know, shuffle them Pokemon around. It's not really doing much, but it's Stealth Rock's damage. Any kind of damage counts in this game. You'd hate to be stuck with like a Pokemon that just lives at like 1 health when it could have died from like Stealth Rock. So unfortunately I had to sack Bastodon here too. Lots of sacking going on in this game. Do I really know what I'm doing? I don't think so. So I know this Basculin is water type. Probably gonna have Aqua Jet, but right now my only option is Magmortar. It's the last Pokemon I have left, so it's gonna have to take that Aqua Jet. And I'm like, yes, okay, it lives at 37 hit points. That's good. Thing now is I get to kill it off with a Thunderbolt. The only thing is that he has 3 more Pokemon after this. He has a Golbat, he has Mesprit, so since I'm Life Orbed, I have basically no chance in hell. He does send out Golbat, but I am going to outspeed it, but my Life Orb is going to end up killing me off anyway, and I'm just like, blah, that sucks, but you know, what can you do? It's just a little test run, try out different Pokemon, have fun with this thing, so I hope you guys enjoyed this match, because I know I did. It was like a 2-0, so semi-serious team, still going with the usual, grab some Pokemon and just like roll with it, just because I hate putting in time and effort into making actual teams, just because I go crazy and I get like pissed off when things don't work out when I test them on PO. So I'm just gonna avoid that, and for now just keep choosing, you know, Pokemon from a database. And with that, guys, I hope you guys enjoy this battle. And by the way, I have a snow day today, so I am home and it is a fantastic day off. So I hope you guys are having fantastic days too if you're off. If not, then maybe some other time. I hope you're having a fantastic day anyway, and I love you guys, and bye!